All I know is this violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
How are you?
Hey, who wants to help me get this recorder out of here? I need some muscle over here.
You are listening to Blame Your Brother.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back once again to Blame Your Brother. This is episode 129, a special Tuesday edition of the podcast. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We are streaming it live at blameyourbrother.tv, so come hang out in the future. Come hang out with us as we record, do this live. It's fun. Chat's lively always, so it's good times. And like I said, we're Blame Your Brother. It's three of us that come to you every week. I am one third of that trio. I am David, a.k.a. D-Brew, voice of the people, and the dream killer. Now, I'm joined by this guy who sits to the left of me. It's my brother, the man whose dreams I crushed. It's Lee.
I am the dreamer. I am also the one and only LeBron safety pin.
You are a dreamer. And then we're joined by this man who sits over to the right of me. It's John.
Hey everybody, John here, a.k.a. Tico, a.k.a. Bill S. Preston, Esquire, Mr. Groupon, Mr. PTI. The madman.
They got John Tortorella, a madman. They do have a madman. Okay, he's a madman.
There you go. That's us. David, Lee, John. We are Blame Your Brother, and we're going to deliver some great news, great stories, and we'll just get moving on along with it. So, as we do with every episode, we're going to start off and offer some room for apologies, retractions, omissions, whatever you want it to be. So we'll start like we do the dream over here. Lee, what do you got to get off your chest about last week's episode?
It says I have to apologize to all football players everywhere.
Oh.
I might have accused them of like
steroids?
PTSD, faking PTSD or something
know.
in order to fix football games. I don't know. I have to apologize to all the Budweiser drinkers around the world. There are a legion of them. There is. But, you know, all I've got to say about that is you do you, man. Like, life is too short to be drinking cheap American domestic beer. But, hey, if that's all that you got the cojones for, then just go right ahead and do it. But I apologize for insulting you last week.
You insulted? I mean,
you
that'd
just
be
insulted him again.
That'd be every week.
And your apology.
How did I insult him?
I don't think he just insulted me then, but I don't know. Possibly.
No.
Okay.
Anyway, and then I've also got a note for you that you had to apologize to me.
No, that's fake news. What are you talking about?
You said that I had made up a word, and then you looked it up, and you're like,
all right.
maybe
you're right.
didn't make up a word.
You're right.
And honestly,
I'll get to
I
it.
don't want your apology because
Well,
I'm okay with making up words.
I got to apologize to the people, though. This is not for you. I'm not apologizing
that's good.
to
I don't
you.
want your apology. I've never wanted an apology from you. I will never want an apology
Well, I
from
mean,
you.
you have said you wanted an apology for him shooting you with a BB gun.
Oh,
That's fake news.
It's recorded somewhere.
Baby.
If I said that, it was just because I was trying to trap him into
but you
apologizing.
said it, so
it doesn't actually mean
doesn't
that
matter.
I wanted the apology.
Wait, if you didn't want the apology, why would you try to trap him into an apology?
Okay, here's why, John. I've been listening to the show, and I've learned from the master
What
bluffer
is,
himself.
so that is what? What is it? It's fake news, right?
What?
It's fake
You
news.
are fake news.
There you go.
You are fake news.
You're fake news,
What,
okay?
everything about me is fake news?
Yes.
All right, that's
I
fine.
mean, we already determined that. When Trump says you are fake news, he's literally talking about you. Yeah, exactly. Okay. That's it? Is that your list?
That's the list.
John, you got anything you need to apologize for?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, so we do have to apologize to a person. We got a voicemail this week. So, you know, whatever. We'll play in just a second.
Who?
But I do need to, I thought Lee had made up the term degendered last week. I for sure thought that was a made-up word, but it's an actual word in the Webster Dictionary. It means exactly what he said it meant. So
I got words, brother.
yeah,
I'm well read.
You got words with friends.
I'm well read.
But that brings us to the next. We got a call, and I was alarmed at who this was, so we're going to go ahead and play this, and here we go.
Blamers, this is Liam Neeson. I listened to your latest episode. I'm not a racist, and I'm very disappointed in all of you.
Wow.
There you go. That was Liam Neeson.
That's surprising.
Wow, he called the show. That's pretty wild, isn't it? I mean, what do you think
he
about
knows
that?
Kanye West?
What do you think about he said, I am not a racist?
I believe him.
I'm not a racist.
Yeah, that's what he's saying, bro. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm going to turn that into a drop or something.
Episode.
I mean, you have
I'm
to.
not a racist.
Okay, so anyway. So are you going to apologize? Huh?
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Why am I apologizing to Liam Neeson?
He must have listened because he talked about being disappointed.
I mean, he was obviously disappointed with you two.
I didn't call him racist. That wasn't me that said that.
Furthest from
I think
that.
that was Lee that called Mr. Neum a racist. I mean, if I remember correctly.
I don't think you do.
I was
Somebody
getting,
did.
I was getting heat for clearing him of all charges.
Yeah,
you know?
it's true. John did give him
But I mean, I think you were clearing him from all charges because you thought he was a racist. Though.
Why would I clear him for the charges if I thought he was guilty of the charges?
Think about it, John. Think about it.
No.
Oh man. All right.
Okay. What do we? I mean, that's cool.
I think Lee has a very particular set of skills at being wrong.
That's good. That's a Liam Neeson callback.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening, Mr. Neeson. We appreciate it. And
did
who knows?
we talk about his movie?
Which movie?
Career?
Not
on
really.
The podcast last year.
I mean, no. Taken.
What would you say is the highlight since we
Schindler's
besmirched his good name?
Schindler's List.
Yeah, Schindler's List would be his highlight, and then Taken 1's a good movie. It's a good idea.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
If you had to be remembered for being a famous actor, what genre of movie would you? Because I mean, like Schindler's List is a really good movie, but it's kind of dark. It's like a Debbie Downer type thing. It's not something that you can watch frequently. At least I can't, you know.
But it won him an Academy Award.
So would you want to be involved in something like that, or like would you rather be like an action adventure hero? Or I know you're real big into like plays. Maybe you'd want to do some like live play.
Probably not.
stuff.
But I would rather be remembered for a great film like Schindler's List than 100 action films. Would I rather be him? Or would there be like Bruce Willis, who's never going to probably win an Academy Award, but is in every action movie that comes out? I'd pick Liam Neeson because he has an Academy Award.
What about comedy, though?
I mean, once again, I think you'd probably be a stand-up comedian if you want to be known for comedy.
About,
name a comedian or a comedy actor these days that didn't do stand-up at some point.
Steve Buscemi?
I mean, he's more like an actor.
I think he's done.
but
I mean, but that's not saying much. They're yes.
Right.
You hire comedians for.
Well, like Adam Sandler's one of the big ones. I mean, stand up.
stand-up.
Okay. And then you have Kevin Hart, stand. I mean, those are the two biggest, right?
Is Kevin Hart an actor?
Kevin Hart's in like every movie there is.
But is he acting?
Yeah, I mean, he's in a serious movie actually right now with Bryan
Cranston.
Yeah. So not
The Upside, I think is what it's
Yeah,
called.
I think so.
Who's the Ron Burgundy fella?
Will Ferrell?
Yeah.
But he's done serious films as well, a few.
I mean,
Everything Must Go was really good, and then he was in.
Is that the one where he's like living on his front yard? Or something?
And he had another one with where he starts realizing someone's narrating his life. I forget
It's
what.
still kind of
Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's serious.
I would go with comedy personally.
Okay. Well,
I know you were dying to ask me.
We'd end up being like an Adam Sandler type person.
Oh,
where
yeah,
we'd
yeah.
just start making movies and putting our friends in them.
Oh, for sure. Why
I mean,
wouldn't you?
that's what we'd end up doing.
I wouldn't. Not you two.
I would.
Anyway.
Oh, wow. You hear that?
I hear.
No, he just said us too. He didn't say his friends. He said us too. Wouldn't be in any of these movies.
But, I mean, I'd probably end up doing something like musical theater or something.
Ooh, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's...
He wants to be remembered for musical theater.
I'm going to be the next Hugh Jackman, but without the action stuff.
Huge jazz man.
Hugh Jazzman. That's a good.
Jazz man.
That's an AK right there.
Yeah, no,
Hugh
he's really
Jazzman.
sweet.
No, I'd rather be remembered for a great film.
So if you're what is it, musical theater, you can still consider it a thespian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, probably more so.
More so.
Yeah, I would say so.
Huge Jazzman.
Hugh
Master
Jazzman.
thespian.
All right. So, anyways, thanks, Liam Neeson, for listening and calling in and letting us know you're not a racist. Hey, I believed you. It wasn't me. So,
can we get it one more time?
Oh, you want to hear it one more time?
I don't believe it's him.
Oh, hold on. Let's just listen and let's just see if this is actually him or not. We'll just listen for that. Just listen, okay? Here we go.
Blamers, this is Liam Neeson.
Yep.
I listened to your latest episode. I'm not a racist, and I'm very disappointed in all of you.
There you go.
Nope, that's him.
That's him.
That's
I
him.
mean, 100% confirmed.
I mean, you can't fake that.
Can't deny that. Okay. Well, anyways, let's get moving on. Celebrities calling the show. No big deal. We're looking at some possible sponsorship in the next few weeks. We'll talk about that more.
We can't talk about the details today.
I would just wait in case things don't fall through. You know what I'm saying? You never know.
They do fall through.
All right. So we'll see. But anyway, things are looking up. Okay. Speaking of looking up, it was a short week this week, but still, what did either of you do anything in the last few days?
I really haven't done anything. I've been working 16 hours a day, so not a whole lot of time to get involved in anything else. Okay. I know that's super exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had to work overtime?
Oh yeah.
Never ever.
Do you get paid for it?
Yeah.
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 So that's me. It's just all salary. So
if you work 100 hours or work.
Yeah.
Mm.
What advice did I just quit my job and?
No, I mean, you're a 1%er, so that's kind of expected. Me and John, we're like the common folk. We keep talking about this. 1%ers got to work, to make their money. So it's good.
Wait, I thought the 1%ers didn't have to work.
Well, no, you got to work. Yeah, I mean, what do you think? You don't think these dudes work?
I mean, I don't.
I mean, if you're Ninja playing video games, does that work?
Oh, for sure. That dude works his butt off.
I guess so.
Well, then you have to work too.
Because, I mean, it's a common misconception that streamers don't work. Because, I mean, think about sitting at a computer for 8 hours straight. You don't get breaks. You have to sit there. And, a lot of people think that would be super easy. But it's not something that most of us could do. I couldn't do it anymore.
Oh, I couldn't do it. I mean, yeah. No,
I think most of the 1%ers, I think they would tell you that they work. But
you don't think Elon Musk is out there working? Come on, you can't be serious when you say stuff like that, man.
What is he doing? Just going around meeting people?
Yeah, meetings and trying to get more capital. And dude, to keep money is a hard job. I know people think, oh, you just sit there and the money comes to you. No, you got to keep. Especially Elon Musk, he has to.
Okay, I'll give you Elon Musk. He's real busy, trying to fraud the stock market. Okay, that's
Jeff Bezos
knowledge.
Is out there working.
That dude's working hard too.
Now he's working, on women. They're on his wife, but he's still out there. He's working it. Okay, and that's all that matters. So he's working a bunch of overtime.
I would imagine Jeff does nothing worthwhile day to day. I mean, it's Amazon. What do you think he's rolling his sleeves up and oiling up the machines?
He's got to come up with ideas. It's he's on the hook at this point.
Up with no ideas.
I disagree with that. But anyway. All right, so that's what you did?
Yeah, sorry. That's super lame, I know.
No, that's fine. It's a short week. John, what about you? Anything?
I'm not much off of Lee's page. Just trying to baby-proof the house the whole week. So.
Yeah, that's fun. No TVs falling in anymore?
No, not yet. Knock on wood.
That's good. All right, good deal. Well, what did I do?
What about you?
Well, I went and saw Lego Movie 2 on Sunday.
Lord.
Or was it Sunday or Saturday? I went and saw Lego Movie 2. Love it. Good movie. Did you like Lego Movie 1, Lee?
Sure. Okay,
John?
It's all right.
All right?
It's all right.
Oh, wow. That's a spicy little take. I mean, you guys really didn't love I thought everyone loved that movie.
I mean, okay.
Okay. All right. Well, anyways, if you like part 1, you're going to love part 2. And if you thought part 1 was then you'll probably think part 2 is But I
think you've ruined it for me at this point. You came in singing the soundtrack, and I just want to stab my ears out.
Well, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. Everything is awesome. It's the whole point. That song continually plays in that world over and over and over again. So, anyways, if you like Lego, you're going to like Lego 2. It's funny. It's got some funny guest appearances. The story's funny, and if you got kids my age, it's perfect. It's that movie where
kids your age,
or kids my age, yeah, kids your age, kids my age. You can go watch a movie that they like and you like as well.
Everyone out there, if you have any kids that's 41 years old, you're gonna love this movie.
Okay, I did.
I'm a 41-year-old kid. I loved it.
I did see something that I want to talk to you guys about. I saw a video game for sale that was called Job Simulator. And it has hundreds of jobs in it that you can simulate doing. What do you think of this idea?
It's dumb.
But can you imagine a world where people play a video game in which they simulate working at a job?
Well, yeah, because most people, I think, hate their job. So if you can give them a video game where they actually like their job, I could see people liking that.
Okay, so what job would you...
Some games, Paperboy.
It's probably like you're a business guy or you're a CEO or what.
It might be good for training purposes for actual companies.
It's not. I don't think it's that kind of game.
It's like Sims, but it's like jobs.
I don't know. I think it might even be like a virtual reality thing.
Okay. Well, no, I think people, when you look at all games and the phones and everything, we got to remember that in this country we live in, just like last year, Pokemon Go was like a hot commodity. which is really a reason to burn this country down if you want the truth. I mean, if you really look back, like that was so lame.
I think Pokemon Go
is worse.
Is a ridiculous idea, but is better than Job Simulator.
I think it's the same. It's the same sport, man.
It's like in The Office when Dwight Schrute makes Second Life, the video game. It's like a virtual world.
Yeah.
And he makes a video game that copies Second Life inside Second Life.
Yes.
It's like, come on, man. Job Simulator? Seriously? Like, what game would you pick to play in Job Simulator? And you'd be like, I'm loving this.
Director.
Artist, movie filmmaker.
I don't think those were the kind of jobs they were doing, but okay.
No, office job? No, I wouldn't want to do it because I'm already doing that. Like, that's every day. Like, you go to a party or whatever and you're hanging out with a bunch of people and everybody starts talking about their jobs. And I was at one, I just looked around and I go, no one has any idea what anybody does. Like, you talk about your job, but, like, I don't know what you do or really. I mean, I guess I know what John does, but I mean, I know what you do, but I don't know what you, like, do, you know, like, I don't know your process, how long everything takes, like, especially like an office job where yours is like kind of specialized, but like an office job where you're just like, there's a bunch of just people in cubicles. Like, what's all these people doing? Like, what do they do? So I think
a lot of busy work, I would imagine. Right?
Yes, a lot of busy work. A lot of where I work, a lot of pleasing customers and things like that. But I didn't tell you about Sunday. What I did on Sunday.
No, you did not.
I went to a little wedding at.
Oh, that's
I went to a wedding at what we could say is maybe a cult.
So I did
just say that where I won't have to apologize next week. Possibly a cult there.
I did see a picture on Twitter that you posted where it looked like they had a simulated God beam coming down.
It did.
Can you talk a little bit about that? That's what intrigued me.
So this church is called the Remnant Church of Fellowship, I believe is the name of it, and it's ran by this woman named Gwen Chamblin, I believe is her name, and she became prominent back in the early 90s by it was called Way Down Ministries. Way, W-E-I-G-H, Way Down Ministries, where it was a faith-based weight loss
program.
Yes, program, I guess is the best word for it.
Online bookstore.
So she went on all these shows and everything, and then she built this church up, and it's all, I mean, it's, you know, it's 98% white younger people.
Or were they thin?
They were all thin. There weren't many larger people there. But the guy that got married was a larger dude. And so when she got up there to give like she spoke at their wedding, and she said, you know, the dude's name is David, but they don't pronounce it David. They pronounce it David. Okay, so that already became annoying right there. I was like,
maybe that's just the way he says his name.
I don't care. If the dude worked with me, I'd be like, I refuse to call you that. So we're going to have to work around something, brother. I mean, you're going to have to either.
So what if a Spanish child was named Jesus? And you're like, no, you're Jesus.
No.
I'm Jesus.
No, I've never met another person called David.
Well, you might just be showing your ignorance at this point.
I've met people named I heard he actually wants to be called David, but everybody calls him David because I guess he's from Spain. I don't know that he didn't. He sounded like an accent. Point is, she gave the speech and she's like, yeah, so David, he lost 150 pounds. I'm looking at the guy going, this dude lost 150 pounds? Like,
how big was he
how
before?
much did he weigh, bro?
Gastric bypass.
And then she goes, but then, you know, God started talking to him and he found his root, and God was okay with the weight gain. He was, I mean, that's pretty much what she said. She said it a little bit more, you know, around way.
At his wedding?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Because, I mean, that's what
what was his
face
I
wanted.
like?
I couldn't
No one
see
got
his
up
face.
and talked about my weight at my wedding.
So anyway, I don't know why.
Not even your weight, just like he lost it once.
And God said, it's cool. You don't have to lose it again. So, I mean, that was more probably to cover her. But yes, when they start singing and when they start praying, they put their hands, if you're watching the video, put their hand up like a palm in the air, and they look up to the sky when they're singing, and it looks very weird.
I don't have a problem with that.
It was weird. Do I have a problem with it? I was there, but I mean, would I ever do that? Heck no. So anyway, so we went to the reception, and whoa, bro, like, these people obviously have nothing to do. Now, I did feel there was probably some Mormon kind of undertones to it, you know, where everyone was very upbeat and very positive and, all right, man, yeah, everything's awesome, you know.
Everything is awesome.
And then they had, like, they were doing dances. So, like, Billie Jean came on from Michael Jackson. And they're all, like, line dancing I was like, what?
The entire time?
What's the line dance? And they make up dances to like every song they had. And the dances are like, disco, 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 finger gun, finger gun, finger gun.
But they all know it already?
Yes, they all know because that's all they do, I think. I think they
Is
get together and dance. John, does your church not have dances like on Friday night?
Not every Friday night, no.
But they have dances.
They have dances for the singles.
All the single ladies.
All the single ladies. Okay, so anyway, so they all get to, I could go on, but so they all get together.
Can you show us one of the dances? Like,
I mean, you could go on our Twitter and see
but I
the
want to
dances.
see you do.
I don't really remember.
You made me floss
Well,
last week.
I mean,
yeah,
was-
he's got a point, man.
I mean, it's something like, okay, I'll stand up. I think it was this. Finger gun.
Okay.
And then they grab their imaginary hat, and then they.
Oh wow,
It was
cowboy.
it wasn't like that
Or-
complex.
Okay, Michael Jackson hat. I get it.
Well, it was more like a Janet Jackson hat because they were grabbing a baseball hat. So I don't know if they knew that was even Michael Jackson's song. Maybe they thought it was Janet Jackson. I don't know. I was a little bit confused what was going on. You could just get, it was nice. It was a very,
I mean, Billie Jean is just not a song that you'd think you'd hear at a wedding.
Right.
If you really like.
Yeah.
Why not?
So anyway, check it out. Look into it. You'll see what's up. But so I went there, and it was good.
So what is the relationship here? Did
my
they
wife
send you something in the mail, and you're like, that looks fun.
No, my wife works with the girl that got married.
Yeah, okay.
So
Cool.
kudos.
David's new wife.
And then today.
Do you think they're looking for new members? Because I think that kind of sounds like fun.
Yeah. No,
Friday night.
Yeah, they find out
dancing.
you got money. You're in, baby. You're in. You'll probably be one of the higher ups.
Oh, sweet. Can I lose weight too?
Yeah. I mean, you can.
Just by praying?
By praying, yeah.
Okay.
Apparently that's how it works. I don't know.
Is it like this?
Yep.
Okay.
Be practicing.
I got it.
Then today.
You're going to sing Billie Jean while you're looking up.
Yes, do that.
The kid is not my
So
son.
Lego Movie Saturday. Also went to Tennessee State Museum in the morning. So went to the wedding on Sunday, and then today I went to lunch at Arnold's Kitchen, which is like a few minutes from where I work
on 8th Avenue.
8th Avenue. So get in line. I'm standing there, and so we're all facing the same direction. Well, I turn around and talk to Clay, and I'm like, Clay, that's Kane, dude. I was like, Kane is in this restaurant, dude. That's Kane, I'm telling you. I was like, turn around, it is Kane from WWE or Glenn Jacobs, the mayor of Knoxville. And he's standing in line. I'm just standing there going, oh, should I go say something to this guy? Or, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to do. And so I'm standing there. I go, dude, that's totally him, man. And no one's even, and a guy comes up behind me and walks up to him and is like, hey, what's up, bro? Hey, da-da-da-da. And I went, oh, I told you that was him, man. And I was like, should I take a picture? And I was like, nah, man. And then the guy walks over. He's like, yeah, can I get a picture? I went, Clay, I'm getting over there and getting a picture with Glenn Jacobs. Man, he was so cool. Like everyone, so then people started kind of recognizing who he was, and a few people went up and said hi to him. But he even got behind the counter and started like serving food to people. And he was like super cool, man. He was like a very nice guy. He was talking.
What kind of power move is that?
I think
the owner's like, can you serve some food?
I
He's
think,
like,
well,
sure.
he put on like some black gloves like he would wear in wrestling. And he was like, I think
Wait, no, I'm sorry. This story was pretty normal, and then you said he put on black gloves like he wore in wrestling and started serving food. You're going to have to explain
No,
it.
that's
Okay,
it.
his character in wrestling is his most famous character.
Yeah,
in
tell that,
wrestling
yeah.
Is Kane, and Kane is the Undertaker's brother, and so
Who serves barbecue?
No, he's just very dark and the demon. He's called the Big Red Machine because he wears red, but he's also called like a monster all the time. And
Yeah, the big red.
So I don't understand how that puts him behind the counter
I think they
at
want
a barbecue
No, they were
grill.
taking a picture of him like doing it, where they probably could, tell people about it on social
So they
media.
specifically asked him. They're
Yes,
like, hey,
yes. No, they
Kane,
asked. He was laughing
Mr.
about it.
Glenn.
He's like, yeah, I'll help out. Because he was standing over to the side of the line. They're like, oh, well, if you get back here, you got to help. And he's like, all right, I'll help. And that's when he started. So then he sat down. Nobody was really bugging him. It was, no, I don't think a lot of people knew who he was. But, man, they were bringing him food after food. Like, here, try the pie, try this, try that. And he was like, okay. He was like, super nice guy. It was good to see. So
I've been meaning to try Arnold's. How was
it's
it?
really good, yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
Did you for a second want to choke slam him? Is that a thing?
That's one of his signature
Okay,
moves.
I wasn't sure.
I would have. I mean,
the choke slam and the tombstone.
He could have choke slammed me. I mean, it would have been all right. That'd been pretty funny. I would have allowed it. But so anyways, I ran into Kane Day. It was kind of weird, man. Like I just keep running into like these famous people around town. It's so weird. I mean, that's what Nashville's about, though. I guess the new Nashville is like, I guess you could run into anyone. And I guess he was here, like say he's the mayor of Knoxville. He was here at the state capitol meeting with some people and things like that. So that was super cool, man. I met Shaq. I met Kane, both big dudes. Crazy enough, though, Shaq stood next to Kane. He would look like a little man. Shaq was.
Oh, I thought you meant Kane.
No. I mean,
so when's he coming on the podcast is what I want to know.
He said cause people.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll get John to get on it right after we get the Imagine Dragons guy. Then we'll get Kane on. We'll just keep moving along. Yeah, we're gonna get it going.
After that, Liam Neeson.
Well, we're here on Tuesday because Thursday is Valentine's Day. So, any big plans for either of you for the big day? Do you love it? First off, do you love Valentine's Day?
Do I love Valentine's Day?
Yes, that's the question. Yeah.
No.
Okay, John.
I'm on the fence as far as Valentine's Day. My wife does a pretty good job, but for the most part, I mean.
Wait, what?
His wife does a pretty good job.
She does a good job, but I'm just saying, like, for the most part, like, how are women romantic? I mean, there seems so much pressure.
I'm saying. This is like.
There seems to be a lot of pressure
right,
from
John?
men.
Because they only want to be desired. Is that your take? Remember? Is that what it was?
So your statement is women are not romantic.
I'm saying, how are they?
Well, that indicates that they're not. Do you think they're romantic?
No, I said my wife does a great job.
Do you think women are romantic? Yes or no? For the most part.
For the most part.
For the most part, not your wife. For the most part, women romantic. Yes or no?
Doesn't even make sense.
I want to hear him respond to this. Yes or no?
Go ahead and hit the misogyny alert.
Really? Okay, here we go.
So
you already know what's up, bro.
Misogyny alert.
You already know what's up. You know what you said, bro. Tell us more. I want to hear more about this theory.
Well,
is this a recap of last week?
No,
how can women be romantic when all they want is to be desired?
There's such a push for guys to, open the door for the ladies, buy the flowers, do the candy, do all these things. But where is the distribution of these things for women? I mean, it just doesn't seem. I just want them
don't do nothing for men, do they? How dare they? So unromantic.
How? Okay, well, Lee, you're gonna say something. Then how is your wife romantic for you?
You want to ask how women can be romantic to men?
You specifically.
I don't want to talk about my personal romance life, but I'll tell you how women in general are romantic.
So my wife asked me today. Or I think it was yesterday. She's like, "Can you send me a picture of your business card?" And I was like, "Okay, sure, whatever." Not really thinking anything about it. And then later on, she's like, "Are you gonna be at work from these hours?" I went, "Yeah, I mean, I should be. It's like in the middle of lunch." And so she goes, "Well, I'm just going to tell you, you're getting a special surprise at work." So
I mean, it's pretty obvious, right?
I mean, now it is, but I'm a dummy, and I'm like,
I guess she just wants my business card.
Well, I did, anyways, yeah, I don't know, but I wasn't really thinking. So that's romantic. I don't know what it's going to be. I mean, I hope it's not a singing telegram or anything, but.
You're actually, Casey called me.
Is it gonna be John? John could do like singing telegrams, man. You'd be pretty good at that.
Starts taking his clothes off.
You'd have to dress up.
What kind of singing telegram are you getting?
It's got some leather on underneath.
I mean, who would you be the best? Like you'd have to. So on the TV show This Is Us, okay, one of the sister who's a larger lady does Adele-grams where she walks that's her job where she walks around and sings like Adele songs to people. For like special events, birthdays, things like that. Is there anybody you could nail the essence of the look and the voice? Is there anyone you could do, John, that would
was
really?
That guy on American Idol that was pretty horrible?
I think I could
Clay
do.
Aiken?
No, the one that was a joke.
Oh, the Indian guy?
No, William Hung. She bang.
I want to hear. So, John, I'm thinking.
Okay,
so I'm thinking looks wise. I'm thinking you could pull off like a meatloaf if you had like a.
I'd have to put on a lip. I mean, I'm not.
Well,
that
you don't have to look just like the guy. I said resemble the guy, not turn into the guy.
I have a meatloaf wig you've worn before. You could just have it.
That's true. Or maybe a. I don't know. I'm curious to see who you say. Who do you think?
I mean, I don't know as far as. I mean. I think you dye your hair, mess it up a little bit, and do a little bit of makeup. I think, and I believe I have the voice for it. Is Billy Joe from Green Day?
Really? You might want to start doing that then. Green Day telegrams. You'd have to come up with a better name than that, but
John, don't quit your day job.
Oh wow!
Maybe do a little bit of a test first. Maybe a little weekend work.
I got a question. Okay, we all hate Valentine's. Good. Why is it so easy? For us as people, I was thinking about this today. at work and then kind of later on. But why is it so easy to be bitter over being like happy? And Lee, can you answer that for us?
How is it so easy?
Don't you find it's easier to be bitter, right? Like it's easy to be bitter. Like you can walk into any situation and be like, yeah, man, this sucks, man. The job, I'm not getting recognized enough. I need to get better pay for it, and I don't like this and that and like that. Like it's much easier. That's me. That's my like default setting. It's just to be like bitter and like tear people down, like Lee does to John all the time. Why is it so much easier to do that than just build them and go, John, that's good, man. I'd like to see that Billy Joe telegram instead of going, don't quit your day job, bro. Like what?
Out of the gate, not even like, go give you a sample or just no.
And no one on this show has ever tore down anyone.
No, I just said I'm guilty. I said that's my default setting. I just said that.
Yeah, he broke down your dream.
Okay,
he killed your dream.
Well, I mean, if you adhere to like a Buddhist philosophy or see what they talk about, they believe that life is suffering.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the natural state.
Yeah.
And that it takes work to have love and to be happy. And people don't like work, right?
Right.
So the natural state is just this like jealous, greedy, miserable state.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's much easier to tear down someone else than to pull yourself up.
So here's an opportunity for you to pull yourself out of that despair pit and just look at John and go, John, I respect your dreams. I respect your wishes.
All right, I'll pull myself
Look
up.
at him. Don't look at me.
Oh, I wasn't going to say anything about John. I stick with my, let me do you a favor. Don't quit your day job still. You really think someone would pay for John to come up to them and sing Meatloaf?
Oh, yeah.
I think most of those
They're definitely
people,
not going to pay him to sing Green Day.
I think, well, I mean, that's not really songs that I guess Good Riddance people would pay for.
When I come around, I mean, that would be funny. I mean,
it would be
depends
funny,
on
but I don't see anybody paying for
it'd be like a birthday.
For that song.
It'd be like a birthday.
Okay,
like,
if John was doing it as comedy act, sure, but he would show up and straight face it.
No, you think John would straight face John? You think John's not a comedic person by nature? Like I see him joking around more on it than you think he's showing up being like serious, like eyeliner under his eyes, going,
yeah.
When I come around, like that'd be pretty bad actually. How would you take the role? Would you take it serious, or would you kind of wink and a nod, or?
It depends. Like if they wanted it, like Good Riddance. I mean, a lot of people think it's a romantic song. It's really not.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people misconceive the song and they think it's a romantic song. A lot of people use it as their first dance.
What song are we talking about?
Time of Your Life is what everybody calls it, but it's called Good Riddance. And so if they wanted that song for like someone they really cared about,
I
would straight face it.
Okay.
Already.
But like but I mean Basket Case? No, I would go in there like a nut. I'd go up
Basket
swinging,
Case would be awesome. I wish somebody would
Yeah.
come saying to me like "Happy Birthday." I mean, you could change the lyrics, I guess.
I mean, you say that now, but if John showed up at your work with eyeliner on,
He'd probably laugh even more.
singing "I hope you had the time of your life."
I
or
would love
whatever
it.
the
I
hell.
love it, dude. Sign me up. I think we need to do this. This is a business opportunity. I have 5 great ideas a day, and that is on the list of 5 of the 5 today because that's a really good. I think you can make money. I think as Nashville grows, hokey things like that, while the economy's good and everything's going, the pedal taverns, the riding the back of the bus with a hot tub, bachelorette parties, I think you could make money doing that.
I guarantee you that you will starve to death if that is your job.
Well, he can come over here and just grab some chips, can't he?
I mean, I'll do what I can.
Okay,
but I still think he's
I
going to
mean,
starve to
if
death.
I limited myself to just Green Day songs, you're probably right.
So you're going to do like Billy Joel doing the Till album or something? I'm confused.
I'll do like Weezer doing all those covers.
That's what he just said. That's what he made. The Till album.
Oh, he never mentioned Weezer, so.
Yeah, no, he said you're Billy Joe doing the Till album. You know, you're like, and
John
I
listened to that album, so he knows all about it.
Well,
No, I didn't.
kudos to John. Lee's gonna keep hammering that on it forever.
I'm just gonna listen to it this week. That way.
Well, the Black album's about to come out, and friend of the show, listener of the show, Todd wants to come on after it's out, and we've listened to it. He wants to come on and talk about it for a little bit. So I said, all right, well, be good for that.
Sounds good.
So you know when the episode's gonna drop, but
make sure we all listen to it.
Yeah, you listen to the album if we talk about it.
John, don't bluff your way through it.
All right. So anyway, so back to Valentine's Day. You're sticking by your statement that men are more. I'm not saying it's
There's
wrong
more
or right,
pressure.
John. Okay, men are more romantic.
He's waffling.
No, I'm not.
a little bit.
Just
There's
because
more
you cut me
pressure.
off
No, you literally said women are not as romantic as men.
I never.
And now you're saying there's more pressure.
I said there's how. I said how are women romantic? I never said they were or they more or less.
That's
you can
fine.
go back and listen.
I mean, we'll take whatever you're saying.
We got the recording.
We'll be very charitable.
Hey,
to
and
you.
I'm gonna be next week. I won't be here, but I will watch the show. I want you to apologize when you re-listen to the show and you hear that I said how are women romantic, not that men are more.
Oh, I heard you say how are women romantic.
All right, I never said that they were more or less.
All right, well, when I pull the audio,
Exactly. Thank you.
Whatever.
Fun times.
Yes.
Move on.
Moving on.
I love it when I'm right.
I mean, we can continue talking about men and women being romantic if you want.
So, who likes Valentine's Day? Let's get to that.
Single people?
Do they?
I mean, people that are dating and single. Not necessarily like, oh, yes, people that can't get dates and are single probably hate it. But people who are single and manage to stay that way and go on a lot of dates probably love it, right?
Could be.
Because it's
probably new relationships.
What percentage of married people like Valentine's Day? What would you give it? Just I mean,
it depends on what you mean by like. I mean, are you talking about like if you scale of 1 to 10 above a 5?
Yeah.
I'd probably say about 60%.
Okay.
I have no idea, but let's be honest. It's just a Hallmark holiday along with Mother's Day and Father's Day and Grandmother's Day and Grandfather's Day. Like a lot of people really like those holidays, but let's be honest. They're just a money grab, right?
Right.
They just want you to go to CVS and buy a card.
No, for sure, yeah.
For $5.
Chocolates, candy, flowers.
I don't know if that's happening on Mother's Day, but flowers maybe.
Flowers, yeah.
Flowers and chocolate, I'm sure.
I mean, chocolate for mom, sure. You know, kids. Remember, kids are buying for their moms too, and the dad's having to go spend the money. So, yeah. So, anyway, in the chat of Facebook, where we're live as well, Weezer's coming out with the Black Album. What is the best Black album of all time? And me and Aquafina have come up with a few choices here.
Oh, yeah?
We have Spinal Tap's Black Album.
I do like Spinal Tap,
We have AC/DC's Black Album. We have Jay-Z's Black Album.
Oh, and that's a good one. That's a good one.
So that's right now.
Didn't the Beatles do a Black Album, or they just do white?
They just do white. So of those three, what's your favorite Black album?
Spinal Tap.
Oh man,
I'm torn between Spinal Tap and Jay-Z.
Oh, I'm torn between Spinal Tap and AC/DC. Man,
well, just because of when Jay-Z's album came out, they kept combining a bunch of other albums. Like they did the Beatles' White Album, they called it the Gray Album.
Right.
They did Weezer's Blue Album, they called it Black and Blue.
Yeah, that's true.
And just it was.
Yeah, I'm not knocking. I'm not a big Jay-Z fan.
The verse, I'm not usually either. I mean, you know me.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're probably shocked when I first said that, but I mean, just I like the merging of I like mixing songs like that. So
yeah, Gray Album's really good. So Spinal Tap, John. What are you picking?
I'm gonna go with Spinal Tap.
Ooh.
Final answer.
I guarantee you, John has not listened to Spinal Tap.
He couldn't name 3 songs on it.
I could not either. I'm
Go
just
ahead.
Be honest with you.
Okay, wait a second.
Big Bottoms, My Girl's Got 'Em.
Yeah, that's
wow.
one.
He actually used to jam to this. Wow, I'm impressed. Okay, John, I'm impressed.
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Isn't there one about a farmer girl or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't get me wrong, the movie is amazing, and
I mean that's a lot of it is nostalgia for the movie is why I pick it.
But I love their song "Give Me Some Money." I love that song. It's so good. Man, people that don't like Spinal Tap, I feel bad for them. They're just missing out on one of like the great movies of all time. Man,
it is really good.
Oh, it's so good. So. Anyway, okay, that was it. Black Album.
But I think I'll just go back to the Spinal Tap, the movie. I think younger people who watch it don't understand it, because like the quality is like it was shot to be kind of like you're holding an 8mm candle, so the quality is a little subpar, and like the audio is weird, and you see boom mics coming in.
Yeah, no,
it was like purposely shot to be bad,
right?
And kids like can't wrap their mind around it, or they don't connect to the era of the hair metal to understand what a farce it all was. So honestly, I think it might be a generational thing.
I think you're right. I think after like shows like The Office came out, they immediately compare it to The Office. And it's like you can't really.
It is.
It
right.
is.
I mean, it's straight up. I mean,
but I mean,
Oh, come on, dude. I mean,
I would say like that vampire movie that came out. I don't know if you're.
Oh, what we do in the shadows.
That's probably the closest thing I've seen in a long time.
Well, all of his movies. Well, then you got to say all of his movies.
Same guy,
yeah. No. I mean, like Best in Show, Mighty Wind. Those are all. I mean, that's the guy. It's Christopher Guest. I mean, so.
But even still, even like Best in Show, I thought was not.
It's
like,
not
really
well, yes,
like Spinal Tap.
Exactly.
Anyway.
And if you're a musician and were a musician, there's so many just great moments in it where you're just like, So I don't. It just spoke to people.
Don't even look at it.
It's a great line. It goes to 11. That's like in the lexicon of pop culture. So, all right. Well, that's okay. So Todd just jumped into chat. So Todd, when Weezer comes out, we'll be reviewing the Black Album. We'll see if it makes the list of great Black albums. So I guess a lot of them have been really good. So maybe that's a good sign for things to come. And Lee does have a sweat guard on his microphone. So there you go. All right. What news stories do we have this week that we can jump into?
I know you wanted to talk about one that's happening here in Nashville where the Metro Police have decided to remove the resource officers from troubled schools. So that's basically police that they put in all the schools. So if something goes down or cop intervention is needed, they're there on the premise. They're also supposed to do a lot of community policing. I guess maybe bring students with a positive interaction.
Right.
But now the police department is saying for these troubled schools, we actually
we're out.
I'll let you explain why.
Well, now this is, I gotta say, the first I heard of the story was Jessica Jaglos broke it on her Twitter account. Guest of the show, friend of the show. And from what I've heard, I've not watched the story, but I've read the article and I saw what she was tweeting at. Officers are being verbally abused by the students at the school. And that's one of the reasons that they're bouncing out of the schools. Now, it said they have reported toxic environments where they are verbally harassed on a reported basis. This is from Don Aaron, the spokesperson for the Metro Police Department. The officers don't need to be subjected to that kind of abuse. They don't need to be subjected to an environment where the students aren't welcoming. So now, officers in troubled schools are leaving where they're needed the most. This is absurd. This sums up the me generation that we're in today. This literally is like, oh, I'm hurt, help me. Someone told me a lifesaver.
What are you talking about?
Dude, these are officers. What do you do when you go into the hood and all those guys are talking crap to you? You think, the schools are the only place where they get verbally abused? These dudes get verbally abused every day, like 8 hours a day. Like, this is wild to me. Like,
we got a robbery in progress. So I'm not going. They're going to be shooting at me. No.
Yeah, right.
I don't think this was a decision that police officers made themselves. I think any police officer that was ordered to report to duty as a resource officer would do so. I think it was a decision from the police department.
Well, then, I mean, whoever it's from, I don't care. Obviously, the officers went to their commanders and said, we're being verbally harassed and we don't like it. But, I mean, they wouldn't have just made this decision on their own.
But so here's the thing, and I mentioned this, that the resource officers in a large part is supposed to be doing a lot of community policing in which they make a positive impact on how the police operate and, bring them close to the community so police have a better image. Obviously, I think they determined that was having the exact opposite effect. And what is happening probably is there's a core group of students that harass the police officers, and other people go, oh, this is completely okay. We can harass the police officers any way we want, and there's no repercussion.
There's repercussions.
What repercussions?
You suspend them from school. I mean, it's no different.
I think this is the kind of schools that they send suspended kids to, though. Also, there's a lot more laws in Metro than you think that make it harder to suspend kids than you think.
Well,
especially troubled kids on programs like
let's
go
to the chat real quick. Let's just go read some of the comments. Yes, this is from Justin. Yes, Metro Nashville Police are now. You want to say the word?
Oh, no, not particularly.
It's bleeped, okay? It starts with a P. Rusty Greer. Kids are horrible these days, and the police are pansies. There you go. That's a better P word that Jason wanted to use. Pansies. Right? What are the parents teaching the kids? And Jason.
In this particular instance, nothing.
Jason says, quote, I'm not working in the projects. They might hurt me, which is what I said as well. So, yeah. Lee, I don't know. You don't think this is odd?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it's not odd. I'm just saying if the police department decides that their resources are not
needing
being
the schools.
effective. Because honestly, the police officers are not in the school to like ticket people or to arrest people. That's not really why the resource officer program was created.
I'm aware.
So if they're not meeting their goals, then why not discontinue the program? You know?
I think the goal is just to build relationships, whether it's tough and you're not building as many as you like, still you might affect one or two kids. One or two kids might affect more. It's a buildup over time. You can't give up when things get tough. Like, oh, these kids don't like me. Yes, it's generational. Like, you're going to have to break through to that. That's your job. Like, why do you think they don't like the kids? I mean, the kids don't like the officers because even in this situation, there's probably kids there that don't want them to leave, and they're leaving. So it's like, oh.
I don't know about that.
Oh, I'm sure there's kids there that like them being there.
There's a kid that feels a little bit safer walking down the hallway where there's an officer than one that there isn't.
Jason said it's in the alternative schools.
That's what I'm saying.
They're there to cuff them and arrest them.
I don't know about that. That's quite a stretch, but
I don't know. I just think this is weird. I just want to touch by it. It's an odd story.
There's more to the story here, obviously. I think maybe they're pulling them, and like you said, if they can find a better fit, and I think there are officers that could probably do a better job than the ones that were probably there. So maybe they're pulling them out temporarily. I'm sure that we all trust our government. They're going to come up with a solid plan. They're going to get the budget for it, and then they're going to implement it, right?
Speaking of government plans, any more notes in your manifesto? We touched on the first four last week. What Lee did, Lee came up with a manifesto to fix the country that is known as the United States of America.
Well, no, actually it was the world.
Oh, the world. Oh, now we're global. Okay, so it's a global.
America's small beans here, brother.
The global army.
NWO.
Okay. Gotcha. Globalism. I got you. So you had four, and let's try to remember those, John. Okay.
So it's mega. Make Earth great again.
That's almost clever.
That's very clever, actually. You know you're going to have a red hat with Meg on it now.
I can do red.
It's photoshopped.
Maybe like green.
Okay, so
I'm going to get a green.
I'm going to try to remember.
Obviously.
So number one, you want sharing of wealth. What's that called? Redistribution of wealth.
Redistribution of wealth.
Okay. You want
reform
corruption in government. Yeah, you want
focus on education.
Yeah, and then something else. I can't remember what the other one was.
Reduce consumption.
Reduce consumption. Do you have any more to add?
I asked you guys for advice. I didn't want to burn this manifesto in kerosene like I did last week. So
wait, Rusty says, trust our government. Lord, he's a Trump supporter.
First off, that was completely sarcastic, if you didn't catch that. But anyway.
Do you trust your government?
I mean, in the current state, it's kind of wacky because.
Do you trust the government?
So there's a concept known as a government, and there's a concept known as the government. Do I trust government? Yes. Do we have a government? No. Or do we have a corrupted non-government government that I trust? No.
Do you trust Glenn Jacobs serving you food?
As the mayor of
Knoxville. As long as he puts on the black gloves.
As the mayor of Knoxville. So anyway, final thoughts on that?
I was
just watch, wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been busy. I'm working on it. I've been staying up late, writing notes out. You'll get it. Doing a little whiteboarding, some,
Well, maybe you
pinning.
can factor this story into something. Maybe you come up with something for that.
Okay.
What's it? Michael J. Heal the world, make it a better place. This is number 5 for you.
Okay, listen to.
It sounds like it'd be on his list, right? I mean, I'm not making that up.
Finger gun to Michael Jackson.
There you go. Finger guns to Michael Jackson. That's the title of the episode right there. Okay, so that's good. Okay. Anyway, got any more news stories we're going to jump on?
Yeah, I think I wanted to talk about this. I don't know if you saw this, but there's a lot of. I know you always get excited over the social media stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this huge social media uproar over the latest issue of Esquire magazine, in which they're featuring an 18-year-old teenager, white 18-year-old teenager from Middle America. And it's supposed to be like, this is a look in the life of, he's actually 17.
You mentioned this is the February edition of Esquire, right? Which is...
Black History Month, obviously.
All right.
So... I mean, but like, how do you feel?
Read the subtitle. Please read the subtitle to this article.
Go ahead.
I mean, I'm trying to read it right here.
Esquire cover story about a 17-year-old white teenager has caused a heated debate on social media. Editor-in-chief said Esquire staffers huddled to discuss what it's like to be a kid these days.
So it says, what it's like to be white, middle class, and male in the era of social media, school shootings, toxic masculinity, #MeToo, and a divided country. So it's the story of the white man's journey through the current.
I mean, he's 17. Are we calling him a man?
I mean, I'm just saying white man in general, like white, white people, white males. So, oh boy, why would you put this out in February? Is number one. Like,
is it just ignorance or is it?
It's got to be
a choice.
I mean, it's Esquire. I didn't know Esquire was like a. It's not a conservative magazine, is it? I thought it was like a. So. I thought it was like a Maxim Light, pretty much, or like a GQ Light or something.
That's what I figured.
And this is odd. So what do you
that's
think?
what I'm saying. It's either like just complete ignorance or they did it deliberately, right?
I would imagine. Now, is there any justification you believe to this news story? Is it tough? Are white men feeling the pressure from all these things mentioned? Is it a story worth writing about?
I mean, I think it is an interesting introspective to look at. I think we should look at all people's stories. I think if you tell white people that their story isn't interesting and should not be heard, that is kind of hovering on racism itself. So do we cure racism? Because is that the central issue here? Racism? You don't cure racism by being racist. So, but is it tasteless to maybe not feature other people's story at the same time?
Yeah.
Perhaps.
I don't know.
I mean, if you contextually inside the story try to make it an editorial piece where you paint it as this horrible place where you have it so bad compared to other people, then that's not good. But I mean, if you paint an accurate picture, like what's the, if it's, I guess if you're going to Esquire for a serious look at anything, I guess you're already having problems.
Probably true. Well, critics were angry because they feel that documenting the experiences of a 17-year-old boy is unnecessary, while others got on social media to do what? To share their outrage over the outrage, and that is awesome. I love it. Share the outrage over the outrage. That's where we're at now.
People are mad because other people are mad.
Yep, and now they're getting mad, and they're going to go online and write about how mad they are. I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Life is suffering.
It's an interesting choice. To quote, what's the movie? Dodgeball. It's an interesting strategy, Cotton. I guess we'll see how it pays off. I mean, I wouldn't. The editor had to know, like, if he's not, he needs to be fired for incompetence. Or, like he said, this is generating talk.
I mean, it's the cover story for number one. So, it can't just be one person's fault that they're doing this in February.
Right. And when's the last time we talked about Esquire? I mean, really never. So,
oh, you think it's deliberate?
I would have to believe either that entire staff is incompetent in their job or they're doing this because they know in this day and age, if people are talking about it, they're going to go read it.
No, they had to have done it for the outrage.
I mean,
they had to.
I'll
right?
go read. I'm curious to read it now. I guess they kind of did what. I mean,
it's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
Is there a way to tastefully do this?
Yes.
Another month would have been all right, maybe.
Well, that'd be one big thing. But
you would feature other lifestyle choices,
like an anthology thing, like one, do different ones.
Right, exactly.
I think that'd be a good.
I mean, if you're looking at teenagers in America, like, don't just pick out one teenager and go, "Oh, this one teenager in mid-America represents all white people."
But that's how they do profiles, man. I mean, that's just how they can't.
I get that, but you introduce other slices that would do the same thing.
But set it up as an anthology before you get rolling. Don't just say, "Oh, we're going to do this again, but with somebody else." As it feels like you're just backtracking.
Yeah. All right, we'll see what happens. Interesting choice. That's what I got to say about it. All right. Do we have any advice for John to give out this week? All right, let's hit the music.
I hope it's by Liam Neeson.
Dear John, I'm writing in to ask you a question.
I heard you have a particular set of skills of giving really bad advice.
Do you think I'm a racist? All right, so we got a letter from someone. It came in the mail. We got an email from someone. Lee's going to read it. John's going to give out the advice. Go.
This week, telegram comes in. Dear John, we have a couple of daughters who have told us we must take off our shoes if we visit them and our beautiful grandchildren. Although I'm not sure of their reasons for this, I do know for sure that we have never tracked in any kind of dirt into their house when we visited. In fact, our shoes are always clean. I have very sensitive feet. I cannot even walk outside barefoot. On top of that, my feet get cold if they aren't covered. I have always worn house slippers at home if I didn't have shoes on. In a discussion with my wife, I suggested that their request was both inconsiderate and disrespectful. I also said that they should provide alternatives to shoes for visitors if they expect guests to remove their shoes. What is the proper etiquette in a situation like this from Cold Feet?
Oh my gosh.
This is wild.
Are you telling me you, growing up, raising these kids, you never had rules that they didn't understand or didn't like? Take off your shoes when you go visit your kids. It's their house. It's their rules. Let them do it. They're not asking you to do anything crazy. Sensitive feet? You think they didn't know about this their whole lives? If they did, they'd probably make an exception for you. So I think you're blowing smoke, bro.
Oh my God.
Blowing smoke, bra.
I didn't say bra. I said bro.
You need to just throw in the
You
bra.
got the O
Just
this
throw in
time.
the bra, please.
But anyway, no. Take off your shoes. It's not a big deal. How do you take showers? I mean,
okay, so the guy's asking for one set of advice, but give him another. Like, obviously he's doing something wrong in life, right?
I mean, if he wants to, call up his daughters and be like, hey, can I leave a pair of slippers over there that's acceptable for you guys that I can wear? They'll never go outside, so they won't have any germs on them. Can I do that?
I think it's more principle at this point for this man. I don't think it's actually about the slippers.
I don't think it is either.
I think that flew out the window a long time. I have very sensitive feet. I can't even walk outside barefoot, bro. There's no way that's possible. You went your whole life without walking barefoot. How would you even know you couldn't walk barefoot? Number one.
And wouldn't his daughters know about this if it was such a big deal?
Has he been to the beach, the pool? Has he been
go to a podiatrist. That's what you need
you
to do.
need help, bro.
What if he gets those little blue contractor booties and puts
that's
them
what I
over his
picture.
show?
Yeah.
No, I picture that's what he wants.
They got like special socks and stuff. Where are those?
What about Kleenex boxes? Would that be appropriate?
I mean, I'm like, John, just take your house slippers over there. Just buy you another pair if it's such a big deal. You obviously going there quite a bit. You have granddaughters. You want to see your grandchildren. You know, come on.
For real, can I give this guy some?
Sure.
I mean, it's too late. But here's the situation. If you raise your children correctly to respect their elders, their parents, this would be a non-situation.
Oh.
So this man has already failed himself years ago. He should have raised his family better.
Roast it, toast it. That's it. All right. Rusty liked that one. He said, it's about time John got some balls. Okay.
I agree with that.
John.
They've been waiting to drop for a while, y'all.
Your takes are cold often. That was a good one, though.
Hey, well, Rusty and Lee can lick those balls.
Wow.
Oh, no.
I was trying to give him props. I was like, congratulations.
See that bitterness, man. It's just seeping
in there.
Reap what you sow.
All right. Well, that's that's all the topics for today. If you do want to write us in, please, there's an email, bybpod@gmail.com, or the easier way, go to blameyourbrother.net, hit the email form on the website, and it will shoot us an email directly. You can do it straight from the website. And that, we approach. This is episode 129. We've talked about a bunch of things. Hopefully you enjoyed it all. And after you download this, you listen to it, you love it, why don't you go on Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star rating and review? Just go, hey, listen to the program. You guys are funny. You're great. Liam Neeson's an idiot and blah, blah, blah. Whatever you want. Just go in there and give us a good review if you haven't done that already. And while you go to blameyourbrother.net, you got all of our links. So follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're on YouTube. Subscribe to that. You catch the live show when it hits, you'll be notified. Email, everything's on there. There's an Amazon link. So if you're buying things on Amazon, please click through that link before you start making your purchases, your selections, and we get a small percentage of sales. And, of course, every Thursday we are streamed on Radio Vegas Rocks. That is radiovegas.rocks, the best internet radio station in the world. We're streamed Thursdays, 2 p.m. Go check it out. So I guess that's about it. And hit a voicemail. If you're brave, like Liam Neeson, there's a voicemail button on the website. You literally can hit that, leave us a voicemail, and you're good to go. We've got articles coming up from Adam Cox about aliens. I can't wait to read that. And next week, we have a very special guest. I'm going to wait on it because we're finalizing the details. But we obviously love WKRN, right? We love it. It's our favorite station. We've had Jessica Jaglos on. We had Mary May's on. Didn't we? We had Danielle Breezy call in. So it's somebody. That's your hint. It's somebody from WKRN will probably be joining the show next week. We're looking forward to it. John, is your kid coming next week?
My kid will be here exactly next week
on
the 19th.
Whoa, wait. Your kid is being delivered on the 19th?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
I tried to get him to stream it live, but he said no way.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's wild. Well,
yep.
Okay. Well, we'll be talking about that probably as well, so we'll see. All right, well, Lee, I guess we kind of got everything out of the way, so is there anything else?
Don't blame yourself when you can blame your brother.
Burn this.
I'm sorry?
This must never be seen by anyone.
You want me to play it again?
Has anybody seen this?
Nobody has seen this.
They have to be found and talked to.
Do you have the time to listen to Lee whine?